Right, what's going on? Now, by this point, I'm pretty sure that most of you guys, the YouTube subscribers, are very loyal Instagram followers as well. I would be very surprised if not. You will have known that I dropped out and had to pull out, unfortunately, of Swansea Ironman 70.3. Now, to give you, first of all, I want to start by saying it has been an amazing process, this series. I've loved every little second of it. I decided on the 9th of January that I was going to try and do an Ironman. It's something that I saw a YouTube video, and I was like, you know what, I definitely want to do this. So why not put myself out of my comfort zone and do it? Then obviously the idea of doing it with Marie Curie was amazing. And then the final thing was, you know, let's not just do one, let's try and do these 3 events, the triple threat. Now, unfortunately, I've not really been able to complete it, but I've definitely done things that are completely out of my realm, completely out of my background and what I've been confident with in the past. You've got my first ever triathlon, my first ever marathon, the combination of all of those combined, like the first time I've ran anything over 17 miles, which is absolutely amazing. With all of that being said, an amazing process, an amazing journey. Unfortunately, the diagnosis of the knee was 4 little things, obviously ACL intact, LCL intact, which is what my worry was, because I think first of all, I would know if that was the problem, but second of all, that's like something that would completely stop my training completely for a long period of time. The thing that really sort of pulled me away was the fact of I'm starting to get pain doing day-to-day tasks. So you might have seen that I've actually been training, you might have seen that I've been doing all of these things, but specific tasks like driving the car, like actually the final straw was me, we're building gym number 2, as you're probably aware, getting up a ladder, felt a pop that was just game over from that Monday morning. So that was 6 days before I was supposed to complete Ironman Swansea. That was the final straw. But the diagnosis is something with my patella bursa, patella not tracking in the right direction, and pretty much just a bunch of other things. Not very much cartilage left, which is kind of just known of anyone who really pushes in this sort of gym industry. But yeah, I need to take some time to think about longevity, to try and think about getting healthy again, to try and think about that not being a complete nuisance in my day-to-day life and my day-to-day job, which is horrific. But anyway, positive things. What are the main takeaways from this? Like I said, done my first marathon. I've never swam so much in my life since I swam when I was younger, which is amazing. Bike, obviously have a vast amount of experience in that, and obviously the most important thing, raising awareness for Marie Curie and actually raising some money, raising some funds for a charity that is close to my heart. Takeaways in terms of like what I'm going to do next, what I've enjoyed, what I haven't enjoyed. I've never thought that this experience would allow me to actually enjoy running so much. This is something that I'm definitely going to continue. I think for me, I'm going to keep a little bit of everything, every little element up, but the main takeaways are lifting heavy, running fast, and I think swimming for a little bit of active recovery will be the ones that I stick with the most. I think the bike is probably just going to be something more for fun, as and when. It'll probably not be part of my training program. I think I've dabbled, I've dipped my toe into this realm of hybrid training. I think that for now, the goal is to get a little bit stronger. I feel like because I got sick in South Africa, my key strength came down a little bit too much and it was a little bit too aggressive, and I had to kind of push the triathlon stuff and put that as the main focus. But I would like to perhaps build back up. Building back up is the goal alongside running. And I think that is what I'm going to do. Potentially tick over, set myself a goal in about a year's time, something like that. But for now, business is first. So with that being said, the new series is going to be all about building the brand, building the new gym, showing you a little bit about the day-to-day runs of what happens in here. And hopefully you can take something else away from it. But for now, I'm going to be training for Instagram. I'm going to be training for looking good. I'm going to be training for looking good on my next holiday, whenever that is. But for right now, clip to Ironman montage for a minute. Go watch a video, like, subscribe, and all of that. And thank you for the love and support as always. Over and out for now. Welcome to the Ironman Prep Series, episode 1. Who am I? What is an Ironman? Why do I actually want to do it? Now, for those of you that don't know, my name is Adam Collard and I want to do an Ironman. I'm doing this for myself, I'm doing it to test my body, but I'm also doing it for everyone out there that has lost a loved one, and that is my motivation. So why do I actually want to do it? Now, there's a few main reasons for this, and I'll go into them and break them down into 3. The first one is I want to actually break the stereotype and break the mold of you should not be able to have a relatively big physique, or you should not be able to obtain strength or obtain strength training while being an endurance athlete. Okay, we've seen a massive trend in the hybrid sort of athlete recently, and back in the day, if you asked me when I was 18, 19, 20, I would have never thought in a million years I would have wanted to do a marathon. But I want to be the jack of all trades. I want to try and be the ultimate athlete where I can push myself on both completely opposite domains of strength and endurance, and see what the finished product is, and see if I can do the best in both aspects to the best of my abilities. The second reason being I want to try and push myself further out of my comfort zone. There are things that I never thought that I would do in the last couple of years, which I've pushed myself harder and harder and harder to be able to achieve. Running being one of them, high rocks being one of them, CrossFit training being one of them. The workouts that I've kind of done, I thought that, nah, I'll never be able to do that. I'm too big, or I'm not mobile enough, or I'm too tall, or there's loads of different reasons, but all of these things I've been managed to combat through smart training, through work ethic, and this is the next thing. I want to be able to break that comfort zone, put myself in there for a long period of time, and see what I can come up with in 6 months' time. Now, another little aspect of that is I'm 27 years old now, and I was a little bit naive to this in earlier years. But I would say the first time that I've actually had any sort of mental health has probably been in the last sort of year. And a younger, less grown up me probably would have like almost laughed at mental health, but not laughed, but like I didn't believe it as much as what everyone went on about. I knew that it was there for some people, but I think that other people, and quite a lot of it, was exaggerated. Now, I'm not saying that any time in my life that things have went wrong, I've had a focus. And the thing that when I was younger, when like my parents were splitting up or something like that, it was like, I want to get in shape. So it kind of like distracted me, but also not distracted me in a negative way, but it gave me something to focus on during that time. And the next thing was like, right now I'm at this point where everyone around me thinks everything is easy to me because the gym is doing so well that it doesn't need me there. So then now I don't actually have to do the one thing that I created, which is really, really weird and really hard for me to let go of. And one of the things that has been a big part of that is you spend quite a lot of hours by yourself. And with the things that have happened in the public eye and stuff like that over the last 6 months to a year, this has been something that I've probably struggled with, and I've definitely had to try and find and combat. And whether it's healthy or not, putting myself into these places where 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours a day, I can't think about it because the training efforts and the bouts of effort are so hard. It has definitely been something that has helped with my mental health, and this is the next thing. Having that goal, a target for like 6 months, is definitely going to put me in a better place where hopefully by that time I will have the next project to focus on in terms of work as well. And the last reason, and one of the most important reasons, was Nin, who you've probably seen on my hand. That was my grandma, and a few years ago she passed away, unfortunately. And I actually got asked by an agent a few weeks ago, maybe a couple of months ago now, but it was essentially, have you got anyone close to you or any sort of charity that if you were going to do any of these things that you would do something for? And at the time I thought, I actually don't. I've not really had any hardship in my life or anything like that, but I was really, really close to her and completely forgot about this place that we went when I was a little bit younger, but it was a Marie Curie hospice, and I didn't actually know and remember that because to us it just looked like this building where I went in and she got looked after. But it turns out that was a Marie Curie hospice, so that is something that I definitely want to, like, if I'm going to do this, I may as well do it for a reason that's bigger than me. And whether that be sculpt, whether that be my mental health, whether that be something like Marie Curie, I think all three of them reasons are good enough to do it for. What is going on? Very exciting day today. We're going to show you and kick off a brand new YouTube series, or a YouTube video at least, Building Sculpt 2.0.